Hello, beautiful tribe, and welcome to Magic Month of June. I can't believe we're halfway through 2022. I'd be really grateful if you guys can let me know that you can hear and see and that the technology is working correctly by using the chat box. So let me know that you can hear and see and that everything's working. If you haven't met me before, my name is Karila and I'm from Starlight Temple, and Starlight is a company that does all sorts of courses and ceremonies and spiritual travel that is about using channeled and spiritual tools to become more of you, to become more empowered, more energized, more joyful, to live more of your greatest possible potential in this lifetime. And Magic Month is a energy forecast show that gives you an overview of what's going on astrologically from an ascension point of view, what's happening in nature, from all of the kind of different energetic viewpoints, so that you can use that information to align, to know which times of the month are the best times to heal, to manifest, to really, really align with the month ahead. And so lovely to see some of you that I recognize, and yeah, I'm really, really, really excited to be here this evening, partly because some of you that know Magic Month will know that, like, in some ways I've been talking about June for a while. And in particular the solstice. We have been building up to the solstice for the last couple of months, and so it's a really, really kind of exciting moment to finally be on the cusp of what's happening in June. And, you know, astrologically, there isn't that much happening. Astrologically, June is a fairly simple month compared to some astrology, some months. It's a fairly easygoing month astrologically. And there are some times when I'm preparing for Magic Month where, like, I get taken on this amazing journey with the astrology and it becomes all about the astrology. And this time, when I was tuning into June, I was almost guided not to look too deeply into the astrology and to really leave a lot of space in this Magic Month for channeling, because it according to my guides, June is this really amazing ascension portal, and that isn't so much to do with the astrology as it is to do with the solstice ascension energies. And so I am going to give you the astrological forecast as always, but I'm going to try and leave a little bit more time for channeling about all of the ascension energies and the things that my guides want to say about this month, because that's what they asked for. And yeah, it's a month that I would say is really about clarity. If there's one word, I guess the word would be clarity. Although when I was tuning in just before this, the guides were like, yeah, it's the month to swim without your armbands. And so I also feel like there's a real opportunity to become more wild in our trust, in our dreaming, in our ascension, in everything we've got going on right now. And a lot of the astrological alignments are very, very bold and very kind of, they're clear. It's a month for kind of recharging and raising and resting, and There's not so much of the heavy lifting, shadow worky stuff that we've been doing the last couple of months. And so in that sense, it's a much lighter month, but it's definitely a month to use well because of the ascension energies. And yeah, I will let my guides talk more about that. I'm glad you're feeling the armband analogy. I was like, oh. But let's begin with a meditation just to really bring us into circle and into receptivity. And breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. Breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. Really connecting to the circle of your breath. And seeing if you can focus on the place where the breath turns, where it changes from in to out breath or from out breath to in breath. If you like, you can just pick one. And by focusing on that point within the breath, maybe choosing the in to out breath, just notice what happens to you. What happens to your presence? As you feel a column of source light coming into this time, and this space now. And in this column of source light, you experience your aura being illuminated. And as your aura is illuminated, let's take this moment to admire how beautiful and sacred your energy is. And notice if your aura wants to change size. And as your aura changes size, It is sealed from top to bottom in white and golden light. And in this white, golden light seal, you experience every part of you. Relaxing into the remembrance that you are divine love. And that is all that there truly is. You breathe in love. You breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love. And breathe out gratitude. When you are ready, noticing how you feel. In this very simple meditation, you open your eyes and breathe in love. And breathe out gratitude. When you're ready, you share about how you're doing. Incredible light that seems to be coming into this magic month. And so we'll begin with our June forecast. So really, that experience of the breath changing. Oh, thank you. I felt very like I didn't feel beautiful. I mean, we are all beautiful, but I felt like this beautiful divine energy was coming through me. And yeah, I'm glad you're blissful and peaceful and excited. And so yeah, you know that experience that you had of the breath shifting from an in-breath to an out-breath. In many ways, June has that, when I tune into it, has that total ability for the whole direction to shift, you know? And I think that's true in a way of June's anyway, because of the solstice and things like that. But this June, in terms of ascension, really is magnified in that sense. There is a magnetic shift in the currents that is going to happen in June, according to my guides. And so, yeah, it's a really important month to engage with, if that makes sense. It's like one of those months that has all of this kind of potential energy, but if we don't actively engage, if we don't actually grasp it, then and use the kind of astrological portals and the solstice and all of that, then we're kind of wasting the opportunity of it, if that makes sense. And And my guides actually had, this is what I mean about this magic month, not the standard forecast, I don't think. My guides actually had a message that I felt coming through when we were doing that meditation. And so I'm just going to bring it through. Children of love, children of light, children of delight. We say to you that there is this opportunity for a shift in the currents of your own magnetic polarities, and we will explain more what we mean by this. Throughout the show, but what we will say to you is that the reality that you would like, the reality that you want, already exists. It is on a magnetic frequency. And many of you at this entrance point to this month where there is this shift in the magnetic polarities for Mother Earth, and therefore you as human beings, the embodiment of Mother Earth's humanity, are able to experience that shift within your own creative realities, within your own lives. And many of you at this entrance point to June will be experiencing the polarities of what your higher self, or you through your own manifestation choices, have called in. And so what do we mean by this? Well, at the start of this month, you are experiencing one magnetic reality. And by the end of this month, the flow, if you choose, can have completely shifted as going from in-breath to out-breath. And because of this shift that is happening on a collective level, the shift that you are choosing to make on a higher self, and depending on how much you have affirmed a personality self level, you are experiencing the magnetic reality that you no longer want, to experience. And so for some of you, there is quite a strong force coming up of discord or an inversion of what you want. And we say that this is that magnetic reality in the part of your life that is ready for this shift. And for many of you, it has been that which you have been working on through your self-work and ceremonial work in the last 6 months, or since the last eclipse. Not the recent one, but the one that completed at the end of 2021. And we say it is a good thing that this polarity reality is coming up so strongly, for, as we have said, there is this opportunity for a complete shift in magnetic direction, so to speak. And if you know what this is, then you know what this is. But we also invite you to spend time tuning in. What is happening at what feels like great force in the map of your life, against the direction of what you are manifesting, of what you are willing. And we invite you to make this what your June solstice new moon journey is all about. And so, did that make sense to you all? It's like, say you're manifesting a relationship and all you're getting is like rejection after rejection after rejection, or you're manifesting abundance and all you're getting is bills. It's like how what we're going to shift at the solstice new moon time is coming up in its polarity form right now. And so really tune into that and feel into that, because their advice is that you work with what is rather than just picking something out of the blue, if that makes sense. And so now we'll go into the forecast. So in June, the first thing that happens astrologically is on the 3rd of June, Mercury goes direct. And Mercury's been in retrograde since the 10th of May. And so through the whole eclipse journey we had, and, you know, Mercury retrograde is, any planet in retrograde is when the planet appears to be going in the opposite direction in the sky. And what it means is that the themes of that planet are happening more inside of us than outside of us. And so the themes of that planet are, and I will answer that question for you, Leela, but the themes of that planet are happening on an internal level. And Mercury is about communication. And so really, when Mercury is in retrograde, our communication with ourselves is really the kind of thing that comes up, especially the miscommunication that we have with ourselves. And especially it can come up as like a fogginess or an underconfidence or a uncertainty. And when Mercury stations direct, everything gets a bit clearer, everything gets a bit easier. And those of you that know Magic Month, you will know that I always say that, like, what is at the start of the month is like the real kind of pinpointer for what the month is about. So June is about coming out of the fog. It is about becoming clear, you know, in who we are and in our truth, in everything we are and everything we want. And want is actually really important, because, you know, our want is our magnetism, essentially. And this month, according to my guides, is all about this magnetic shift in our reality, in the reality of ourselves. And you know, so Mercury comes out of its retrograde, and it will be fully out by the 19th of June, which is also really, really significant, because you know, that's just in time for the solstice and just in time for all of the shebang stuff that is happening in the middle of the month. And so, yeah, Mercury going direct is yeah, really all about coming into greater clarity of communication. And yeah, the magnetic shift is happening. Let me, to answer your question, let me just see what the guides say. Everything always takes longer than human time perceives. And so, yes, there are always things happening before they happen. But what we say about June is that June's shift is a pivotal one. It is a moment where the currents that have been flowing in one direction have an opportunity to completely flow in the other direction. And so this is exciting. This is the moment that it pivots, so to speak. And so does that make sense to you, Alila? And then as soon as Mercury goes direct on June 4th, we have Saturn going retrograde. And Saturn is the planet of law and order. And again, a retrograde, Saturn will be retrograde until like the 22nd, 23rd of October. And it, you know, is normal for Saturn to retrograde that long every year. But Saturn, you know, when Saturn's retrograde, when I tuned in about this, and like I said, astrologically, my astrological tuning in for Magic Month was so peppered by the guides. And what they said this time is they were like, yes, get yourself in order. So, you know, this year has been a year of chaos, and literally from a soul's point of view, this year has been this like year where there is so much potential, so much chaotic energy. And so to the soul, like I think to the personality selves of all of us, it's quite hard to live that. But on a soul level, that much creative energy from that much chaos is really, really exciting. But what it means is that in many ways, there's been like loads of, I don't know if you guys have had this, but it's been like loads of ideas. Like 1 minute you're doing one project, the next minute you're doing another project, the next minute you think you found this path that you want to do, and then you're not. And then there's all of these false starts and things happening and not happening. And there's just been that energy running through the whole of 2022. And what I feel is that this particular Saturn retrograde, because of what the guide said about get yourself in order, it really is about, you know, spending that time to reprioritize your inner self. You know, we're at this amazing time in human evolution where we're crossing over from being Piscean to being Aquarian, and those are different values. And it's like part of the chaos, I believe, is coming from us, you know, trying to apply Piscean values to things and then not resonating with them anymore. And my advice with this retrograde is to really get your values in order, and they're going to be different from what they were because you're becoming Aquarian. And so it's about getting what matters to you in order inside yourself, so that you stop wasting time on things that you don't feel like you need to be spending time on or energy on. And that's the way to use this Saturn retrograde. And so, you know, got Mercury going direct, helping us get clear on what matters, and then Saturn going retrograde so that we can get everything in order inside ourselves. And so this is a fabulous time to be journaling, although I do advise that actually everybody does what we're doing on the Starlight Sanctuary this month, which is dream journaling. So on the sanctuary, the guides have told us that, you know, this month, every day you're meant to like wild dream about what do you really want, what do you want, no limitations. And just, even if you're only writing a sentence a day, just really connecting into that, like, what does my soul actually want? Not my human personality self that thinks of all of the reasons why it's not possible, but what does my soul actually want? And that, to do that around this time, or to do that the whole of the month, is going to be absolutely a fabulous practice to do, because it will help you get into order. And the chaos actually makes quite a lot of sense with the magnetic shift. So let me see if the guides have anything to add at this moment. Yes, we will continue in this explanation of June, that is partly being shown through the astrological map, but also we are sharing our perspective with you. And so we will say to you that in this sacred time of 2022, the balance between choice and fate is not as equal as it usually is. There is much more energy and power in choice. And this is why, in many ways, everything feels so chaotic. It is as if your higher self, your soul, is trying on as many different things as possible to arrive at the right choice. And we say that in June it is time to start making choice, because in June, especially between the solstice and the new moon, there is this moment where the choice is no longer chaos, it becomes a magnetic direction, or it becomes the creation of a fate, so to speak. And so we invite you to choose very, very, very well, to choose very, 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 very wisely, to choose absolutely the greatest and wildest and most fulfilling choices. And so they are saying to me now that fate can always be changed. Nothing is ever set in stone. But it's just like in that time period between June and the new moon, all of us, you know, our choice actually becomes the path that we are walking. And so it's like it creates the path. It's like every step creates the path in front of it. And so staying high vibrational at this time and really getting into what you actually want is just so important, you know, because it's like this creative moment where if you think of the analogy of the changing of the breath, it is like you're picking the direction that the new breath is going to go on. And so vibration is very important this month, and it's very, very, very relevant, if that makes sense. And in terms of the swimming without armbands, no, my guides are saying later about that, so they will speak about that later. I feel like they would really like to run Magic Month this evening, not me. So I'm glad your dreams are telling you what your soul wants loudly. That's really, really great. And so then on June 11th, Venus is conjunct with Uranus, and Venus is like the planet of love, the goddess, the planet of the heart and the sacral and the sensual. And Uranus is the planet of revolution. And so in a way, this is like another brilliant day for, you know, wild creativity. Like what I would recommend doing is you know, some type of manifestation that is like a vision board or writing or just saying it out loud, but really going wild. Like, can you make it even better than your wildest dreams? Like, can you think of the best things possible and then go bigger and then go brighter and then go even more? Because this particular conjunction, it can help to break down the barriers, it can help to break down the walls, it can allow us to receive more fully. And in a way, we have to be able to receive these wild dreams, these wild wants, this new reality that we all know is possible, that we all know can happen. But we have to be able to receive it. And so it's really about being uninhibited in our dreams, in the wilderness of our dreams. And so very, very powerful day to manifest, especially if you're somebody that is struggling to receive. I would use that day to work on receptivity, to work on really dreaming of something that feels like it is beyond what you deserve, and inviting that in, because that energy is in the sky that day. And that really prepares us for June 14th, which is a super full moon. So a super moon is when the moon appears larger. That's June 11th. And a very powerful day to be in women's ceremony. June 11th, by the way. I am very pleased because, as it happens, I'm doing the Red Tent 10-year anniversary in Brighton. So that is like perfect because it's outside and feminine. And so anything like that, absolutely perfect. And so June 14th is the Sagittarius super full moon. And you know, Sagittarius, again, it's about that like direction in a way. It's about that clarity and that ability to move into the miracle, to move forward, to charge at what you want. And it's a super full moon. A super moon is when the moon appears higher bigger in the sky, and it just means that all of the powers of Luna are more. So there's more magnetism. There is more illumination. Like everything is is stronger. A super full moon has a bigger effect on us. Its magnetism is bigger, and it is actually real. Like, it looks bigger in the sky. And this moon, it really is about joy. And that just, yeah, it makes me very emotional, because I have, been thinking, well, I'm planning on doing a workshop on joy on that full moon, and I've been like putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and it was only when I saw the astrology and was like, oh, it really is aligned, and I don't need to be worried anymore. And so, yeah, it's about joy, and it's about coming in to the manifestation part of the deep transformational process we've been in the last few months with the eclipse and everything like that. And so it's about illuminating a lighter and easier way. I mean, what more could you manifest, really, in terms of bringing magnificence to your manifestation than more ease? The more like, imagine it happening effortlessly and beautifully, and I can feel, as I'm saying it, I can feel you and me not believing that that is possible. And it's like, but what if we do? What if we actually just tried it out? And this is the energy of this new moon. It's like, and June in a way, is it's like, can you believe there's something even easier and even more blessed and even more wonderful is possible? And so this moon, absolutely amazing time to manifest, to welcome joy, ease, grace, all of the goodies. This month is a really, really powerful time to be manifesting. And yeah, it's like, sometimes I think that I block my manifestations, not because I'm scared of experiencing them, but because I believe that it's going to be really hard to get to them. So I'm scared of the hard work, and it's like, what if you asked for it to come easily? How does that feel? And that's really the invitation of this moon. And I'm just going to see what the guides say about this. The full moon is the opening of this pivotal process. And so, whilst the preparation has already begun, the full moon is the beginning, that moment where the in-breath stops being in-breath and starts being the pause before the out-breath, before the change. And so this is the moment that the change begins, and therefore it is absolutely recommended that you are in ceremony, in meditation, doing whatever you can to raise your vibration. It is important that around this time you are drinking enough water, that you are nourishing your body with healthy food and healthy practices, and doing what feels good for you and your vibration. And so this is advised the whole month, but particularly from June to the end of the gateway, which I believe is at the end of June. And so especially in that week leading to the solstice, really, really great to be doing high vibrational practices, and of course using that full moon to really get clear, to really manifest, to really ask your higher self to help you. And the guides are saying, yes, ask your higher self. Ask to be reminded to be in gratitude. Ask your higher self to bring you what you need. Because in this time where there is so much power, so much energy in choice, your higher self has a great amount of power and energy for higher self choices, but your personality self also has as much power and energy for your personality choices. And so we invite you to ask your higher self for collaboration at this time, to really help make it clear, send you the nudges and the prompts and everything you need to remember to be vibration first at this time. And so another great tip, asking your higher self. You see how much my guides are just like, June, you need to hear about June. And then on the big day where this, where this pivotal thing really does happen, is it starts on the solstice. And the solstice is always a pivotal moment anyway, it's when the seasons change. It's when summer begins. It's also, the solstice is all about potential, whether it's the potential of dark if you're in the winter solstice, or the potential of the light if you're in the summer solstice. It is all about the power of potential. And so absolutely, where you're going to access most of your potential is ceremony. And so being in ceremony on the solstice, in my opinion, is absolutely essential and really, really, really important. And so I invite you to be in ceremony on the solstice day and really understand that your choice on that day becomes fate. And fate can be changed, so it's not, set in stone, but you are setting a current or a rhythm or something rolling out in front of you. And now my guides are going to speak about this choice. And so in terms of this pivotal moment of choice becoming fate, it is a rolling out that comes from your vibration. And so if you are in one vibrational state, that vibration will roll out a reality. If you are in another vibrational state, that vibration will roll out a reality. And what is happening in this pivotal moment is there is a setting, a moment of your vibrational foundation not being in simple chaos, but being who you are. And this is on the foundational level. And so we will explain to you that it is the marker of the range, wherever you are on the scale of vibration, that will become the baseline. So the higher you are, the higher the horizon of this foundational vibration that is being set. And we explain this to you from a perspective that we feel you will understand. So your consciousness at this time is in a very hormonal state, is it not? Humanity is in its teenagehood, is becoming the human adult that is your destiny, that is your Aquaria. And just as the hormones shift and change the physical body, and then there is a settling, a sense of becoming who you are going to be as an adult, of size, of shape, so on. Moment where the chaos of the growth arrives. This is one of those moments in your consciousness. And it is not the only one any more than it is for a teenager. But it is a moment of becoming. And so we invite you to really use this knowledge to choose, and the choice is enough, to become. The person that can live those wild dreams that you are journaling about. And you only need to be at the beginning foundation of that choice in your vibration, that it will be much easier if you can be there. And so I am asking if there's anything, and they're saying later. So we will channel later about how you can raise your vibration. But mainly it's about making the choice. In a way, exercising choice as much as possible this month. Every time you're experiencing something, be like, I do not choose this. I do not want this. And then really having the courage to make choices in that unsupported way, in that way without the armband. So, you know, even if you cannot see the way through, it's like, I still choose this love that I want, even if the partner isn't in the picture, or I still choose when I cannot see, even if I haven't got the armbands that you've given me in the past, I choose. And particularly between the solstice and then the new moon, this is that time where that vibrational baseline setting is happening. And so let me see if the guides have anything to say about this gateway time. Stay high vibrational, and this does not mean not having your human experience. We absolutely do not want any of you to be walking around this June terrified of having a feeling that you perceive as low vibrational. Your feelings are not your vibration. Your vibration is your choice. And so what they're showing me is it's like, yes, something can be going really wrong. And of course you have to have a natural human response to that. But then there is this moment after that human response where you can either come into the ceremony of, I do not choose this. I choose to release this. I choose to release the part of me that is creating this. And I choose to connect to the opposite, to the part of me that really, really, really wants to live the polarity of that experience I've just had. And connecting into that polarity, connecting into the potential that you are experiencing the inversion of, that is the moment that you change your vibration. So you can work with whatever is happening in the map of your life, and you can most certainly have your human emotional response, because you need to, because your emotions are going to tell you what needs to shift, what needs to receive this pivotal energy. And so, in a way, it is just, even in an emotive experience, it's like, how can I experience this in the most vibrational way, highest vibrational way? Asking that question is gonna open it up for you. It's like the choice for it to be high vibrational is what will make it high vibrational. And the choice to close the door on patterns that you know are not of service to you. And so many of you at this entrance point time to the month are experiencing with great force options, choices, opportunities to see a pattern that you can either choose to go, no more, I am not living that pattern anymore, I am not repeating that anymore, even though I don't know what will open when I stop that, even though I cannot see what will come in when I let that pattern go. And it's that choice of no more that will raise the vibration much more than you just trying to be happy all the time. Of course, there are other practices. The guides are saying rest is very important, and mainly, and this they have said many times, but it's following your joy, doing what feels right for you in the moment, aligning with the moment is absolutely the way to raise your vibration as quickly as possible. And so, yeah, there's this period between the solstice and the new moon that is that time where kind of everything you can do to raise your vibration in the moment. You can't really decide what it is now, because you might wake up and be like, I'm really tired, I don't want to do that. But it's like trying to stay as present and high vibrational in that time absolutely is a wonderful thing to do. I'm thinking that because it's so important, I will probably run like a free or by donation challenge or something like that, so that the guides can give us support through that pivotal moment. So have a look out for it. It's not up yet, but I will let people know about it. And then we have on the 28th this Cancer new moon. So Cancer is very watery, very, very emotional. It's going to be a particularly emotional moon because it's close to Black Moon Lilith. And Lilith is the midnight goddess feminine. So the midnight goddess feminine is the feminine that is not afraid to completely change. It's the feminine that is thunder and lightning and tsunami, and is like, okay, you can do whatever you want to do to me. You're not going to stop me because I've survived it all already, because I am the wild feminine. And so, this energy is absolutely perfect with that beautiful, nurturing, self-caring Cancer energy, because it's this energy of manifestation and of boundaries and of power. And so, it's like you hold those choices, you hold those choices, you hold those choices, and then it's like we give them to the goddesses. We just allow the rebirth of that magnetic polarity to happen. In a way, the end of the month is getting you ready for July. And those of you that know Magic Month will know that I am all about the feminine in July. And it's like that has already begun in the end of June. At the same time, on exactly the same day, so we have this like wild feminine energy, rebirth energy, just charging through the new moon. We also have Neptune going retrograde, and Neptune is like it's the planet of dreams. And yeah, in a way, it's like everything we're talking about the wild dreaming is Neptune direct. What happens when Neptune goes retrograde is we have this stripping away of all illusions and all clouds to our reality and all things that are not that are not our truth, in a way. And so it's like aha, light bulb moments, and higher truth, the truth of the soul, rather than the truth of the delusions of the ego self. And that is such a powerful thing to be happening with this Cancer new moon, Black Moon Lilith. It's like the whole of the sky is just like, yeah, okay then. Yeah, okay then. You're at the vibration you're at, and we're going to present you with the truth of it. We're going to birth you into the truth of it, and we're going to make it true for you. And so it's such a powerful, powerful, powerful time. Ceremony, 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 ceremony. We say that being in ceremony at this time, especially any ceremony that is about connecting to your greater truth, ceremony that is about connecting you to the truth of your soul. We say that being in ceremony, anything for rebirth, will assist you in harnessing these energies, in releasing out of the embodiment self the pattern that you are already aware of at the start of June, so that you no longer believe it, so that you no longer live it, so that you are living the new reality. And then right at the end of the month, the sun is conjunct with Black Moon Lilith, and the sun is our truth in astrology. And Lilith is the wild, dark feminine, the feminine that would not submit. Lilith in Adam and Eve's story was the first wife of Adam, and she refused to submit to him, and then she was demonized and punished and made all of these things, and then she's kind of survived that and is one of the goddesses that represents the rising feminine now, that has survived all of the persecution and is still here. And so she's about the forgotten powers and the sexual powers and the healing and the psyche, and very much this is the moment that the armbands come off. It's like these truths, these values that you've been nurturing, can you live them? Like the image they keep showing me is like, can you step onto a path that is not there and trust that the path will appear as you do? And that is what I feel July is going to be a month about. Often what the end of the month does is give you a little insight into where we're going next. And so where we're going next is trust. So tell me, guys, what do you think? What do you feel about the astrology? In fact, before you answer, I will just ask the guides if they have anything about the final part of the month. The end of the month is about letting go. Letting go into the change. Letting go into where this new vibrational choice wants to lead you. You will, by the end of this month, have more magnetic clarity. So many of you have been suffering, particularly this year, with not knowing what you want at all, and feeling so certain of one thing and so certain of another thing within moments. And what will happen at the end of the month is purification of that uncertainty and more of a clarity, clarity that is experienced like a magnetic pull, similar to the feeling of when the heart longs for or falls in love with another. A feeling of, I just have to go towards what is magnetically compatible for me. I just have to follow my joy. And so I feel very, very blessed by this forecast. I feel like it's very, very, very special month, and I feel very grateful to have this guidance about this month. Couple of things to let you know about, and then I'm going to let the guides channel more about kind of vibrationally staying high and all of that. If you want to be high vibrational, the first thing that I really recommend, if you haven't done it already, is the house clearing course, which the deadline is literally this evening. It's the last time we're running it in 2022. And it will absolutely, you know, sorting the energy out in your house will raise your vibration more than quicker and more magically than anything else that I can tell you about. It's just amazing. And yeah, there's like a few places left and a few hours left, and so maybe some of you listening are meant to do it. And so there's the link for that. Come and join the house clearing. It's so life-changing, and it really is an amazing investment, that one, because once you know how to do it, you can go and offer it as a service if you're a healer or anything like that. Otherwise, I highly recommend that you try out the Sanctuary this month. The Sanctuary is Starlight's subscription service, and basically it's like an extension of Magic Month. It's like there's all these amazing offerings, such as you know, Q&A with the guides and practices, and there's all of this stuff around what is going on astrologically. And so if you feel like you need support, the Sanctuary will give you that support. It will give you that yeah, it's a Sanctuary. It's going to help you. And this month definitely feels like an amazing time to have it. And so if you are going to try the Sanctuary, you get 1 month free. So if you're going to try out the free month, I recommend it for June. You can also go to our website and sign up to our newsletter if you want to find out about the Joy Ascension Moon workshop. It's not just one workshop. There's going to be lots of workshops throughout the year that are either Ascension or Radiance Moon workshops. And they're not up yet, but we will announce them. And we will also announce that donation or free challenge. I just know that between the solstice and the new moon, there needs to be something to like support this vibration raising. And I kind of feel like I'd like it to be, yeah, you know, like a challenge style, if that makes sense. And so I agree. June has loads of luscious, lovely, amazing things to work with. So that's what Starlight has coming up, basically. Lots of I don't know, we'll probably end up doing a fire ceremony or something on solstice, like, you know what we're like, but nothing's up. So the only thing that's up is the house clearing course. If you are called to join that, we would love to have you at it. Or the Sanctuary. And the card I've pulled for us is Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. And I really feel like that's what the guides were saying. I feel like when they were saying, you can be in your emotional journey, just work with it. It's like that's being, your emotions are your healing information. They're like, you need to heal this, or you don't need to heal this because it's making you happy. And so I feel like it's affirmation again. And then, funnily enough, this card's just upside down randomly in the pack, and it's High Priest, intend and create. And I feel like that's also very what June feels like. It's like, move forward and vibrate high. Oh, I love you too, Anya. Love you all very, very, very much. And so now I'm going to ask the guides how we can raise our vibration this June. First and foremost, we say, following your joy is absolutely the way that is most simple to raise your vibration. And actually, when you have to do something, for example, you have to look after your kids or you have a deadline at work, absolutely you can ask through the having to do, how can this be more joyful? Maybe it is as simple as putting on some music that makes you happy while you do the chores. But asking how to make something you feel like you have to do more joyful will raise your vibration. Next, we will say, when physically possible, and if you can, every day, have your feet higher than your head for a period of 10 to 20 minutes. And why is this? Because your magnetism in physical form is in your blood flow system, is in your iron vibration in the cells in your blood. And so by intending to let the flow happen in the opposite direction, you are literally assisting and aligning with the pivot. And this can be done in whatever way is physically right for you. If you are able to do the yoga practice of putting your legs up against the wall, then fantastic. If you simply do not have the physicality to do that and want to make it more simple, then raising your legs with a pillow or books or anything underneath so that your feet are higher than your head. This is also possible. And so drinking water, and drinking water that feels healthy and Aquarian and happy. And doing the practice of wild dreaming, of writing out what you truly want, of spending time in meditation, in visualization, delighting in what makes you feel good, what makes you feel high vibrational. These are all practices that we would recommend. And also, any opportunity that you have to break a pattern. Breaking a pattern creates energy, for patterns are always a way of losing your energy. And so any opportunity you have to break or change a pattern, and they're actually making me laugh because it's pouring with rain outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but they're like, go after this and dance in the rain in my yard, because that would be breaking a pattern. So yes, going in, breaking simple patterns, even like if it's raining, just going into it rather than staying inside. All of this will assist. And why the breaking of patterns will help you is because it will bring you energy, and your energy will help to raise your vibration. And so breaking any patterns, doing anything differently will give you energy, which will naturally raise your vibration. And finally, the guidance that they've already brought through about actually, asking your higher self to help you, saying to your higher self, please remind me of what we said on Magic Month. Please help me to make high vibrational choices. And yeah. Oh, I'm glad you ran into the rain as well. That's amazing. And so seeing if there's anything else coming through. I'm getting a no. And so I feel like Magic Month has naturally come to its end. I'm trying to break patterns of being like, the webinar has to be a certain amount of time, and just let it be the time that it needs to be. So if we close our eyes now and feel the violet flame coming through us, transmuting all energy that does not serve or belong into love and into light, if it is ready to be transmuted. In a golden rain shower of light, pouring down, taking any energy that is meant to go. To Gaia as an offering to the Great Mother. And a big beam of source light coming in, taking any energy that's meant to go somewhere else, wherever it is in the highest good for it to go. And breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. To send your love and gratitude to Gaia. To all minerals, to all animals, to all plants, to all of humankind, to all of fire, to all of earth, to all of air, to all of water, to all of love, to all of light, to all of matter, and to all of mystery, to all of source, spirit, and self. And to all of the beauty and the magic that is happening now. Breathing in love and breathing out gratitude, and when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming into the room. Thank you all so much. I hope you have an amazing, amazing June. If Magic Month was helpful to you, please share it and, you know, let other people receive this very important guidance that has come through this month. I believe that is important. Lots of people hear it. So much love and so much light and so much beauty to you all.